Hey, what's going on, people out there?
Hey, beautiful people.
How y'all doing? This is it's a Midwest thing. My name is Chris from the Lou,
And I'm Lady V.
and we're back with another video. Been on a little vacation, a little mini vacation to Memphis, and I posted that on my Facebook and on the Midwest thing on Instagram. It's a Midwest thing podcast, all one word. My lady.
Yeah, so we doing some transitions in life.
Yeah.
So we just need a little pause, but we back.
We back. Here we at. We have a new episode we're about to do about checking phones. The first topic, and then we might go into another one after that. But checking phones, your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, and I got a little video from Shiza Hazet. He's a influencer or a YouTuber that does comedy, does relationship dynamics also on YouTube. I pay attention to him a little bit. He's pretty good. So we're gonna go right into this.
Joseph, you're too welcome to the coffee pod. My name is Tisha Zen.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I checked my girl's phone and you won't believe what I saw. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
We getting dressed, and her phone is open. She leaving the room.
Open phone.
Oh no, man, you looked at it, bro.
No, I can't be listening to it. I can't let this play, man. It's copyright music. Hold on. I gotta skip. The copyright music. Here we go. These dudes are really still singing this song. Hold on. Yo, hold it.
I can't lie, that was a song though back in the day.
I'm gonna have these guys just
I didn't even know it was wrong.
And I still don't want to know.
This is all over. Put this all over. I go through her, cause she had like a separate Instagram account. I go through her Instagram account. She texts my ex like, "Oh, me and Maya, she took my car that day to go get her toes and nails did, right?" Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She texting her ex, "Oh yeah, I need my toes. And like, what?" I'm like, no, it's the same ex. I'm like, no, like what the?
Wait, hold on. Did he pay for those toes? He paid for the toes to get done, and they're gonna get licked by another thing. Yo.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
I have a tea actually. Hold on. Let me see. Did he pay for that? Sir?
Ex like, oh.
Yo, man, I gotta see if he actually paid for those toes.
Ex like, oh, me and Maya, she took my car that day to go get her toes and nails did, right? Mm-hmm. She texting her ex, oh yeah, I need my toes and like, what?
Major violation, bro. Major violation.
I'm like, no, it's the same ex. I'm like, no, like what the? I didn't even scroll up no more. No, you know, I'm listening. You don't.
You didn't want to know. You don't want that. You don't want that.
I want to scroll up. Yeah, listen.
He didn't want to know.
No, I didn't wanna
My
know.
heart, bro, it just boom. Like I didn't even like. I was tripped.
It's time to kick rocks, man. Fast, not slow. As always, let's check out a few of these comments.
Okay, so real quick, well not real quick, but we may play a little bit more of it, but let's get into it. Checking phones and what he found out with his girl, and she hollering back at her ex, talking about eating that cat and licking her toes after he already paid for it. What's your thoughts on that specifically, and then we're gonna go into actually what you think about actually checking phones in general.
So that situation is real interesting. I think. Oh, it depends kind of like how serious their relationship is, but it sounds like they committed. Now, if you're in a committed relationship, doing that is real disrespectful. If you dating, y'all like not really don't have real titles and stuff, it's a little different. But if you to the point where you checking phones and all that, I'm assuming like it's a pretty serious relationship. So that
relationship,
was a little
yeah.
dirty, like
Yeah.
for you to be like, "Hey, babe, can you pay for my nails and my feet?
Yeah.
I love you."
Right.
And then whole time texting a whole nother dude like,
Yeah.
I got some stuff for you to lick.
Right. 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 That's some cold.
Um,
That's some cold shit.
And you can start with these toes that
Right.
my real man
Just paid
got done
for.
for me.
That's some cold shit right there. Okay, so in general, I think obviously that's wrong. I would be upset. I'll be the same situation. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So he checked her phone and found that out, and this goes back into the general conversation that I'm about to ask you first. Should you check phones, or what you think thoughts about that?
Well, the whole thing with checking phones is you probably gonna find what you don't want to know first.
Your demise. Yeah.
So I mean, whether that be pictures or that be messages or whatever, like you gonna find out what you don't want to know first, and then even with the message with them, like the licking, that's just the start of it.
Started getting in.
You don't know how far they
Smash it.
going.
Bow, bow,
That's
bow,
just
bang, 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 bang. Like, what's his name? Jonathan Witherspoon. Bang, 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 bang.
you so irritating. But yeah, so for me, I feel like I've gotten to the point where I'm not about checking phones.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's not something I ever been like super big on. I don't care to like look at your phone all the time or see who you messaging and all that stuff or whatever. But I have checked a guy or two's phone before. So when I've done it in the past, it's been associated with some kind of like insecurity or like, nigga, I just don't trust you.
Yeah.
So, so I had like one situation with both, but I mean, it did not really go beyond that. More than anything, it just like hurt my feelings and was like, why you even do that in the first place? Because you did this to yourself.
Right.
Sometimes it can give you the confirmation you need, but I feel like for the most part, I'd rather just like find out some other way.
Okay.
So the first time that I checked one of my ex's phones, and this was my long-term relationship. I feel like we were super in love, but we ain't have a whole lot in common. So like when you and your partner both have like friends of the opposite sex, and you closer with your friends than you are your partner in certain ways, then it's just like, okay, I'm missing something here. Or it's like you trying to slide in. It's just so many different random thoughts, kind of that go through your head when you're with somebody that. So compatibility is a weird word because there's so many different ways like that you connect with people.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like you can connect with them in one way, and then another area is like, nah, like we ain't on the same page with that. And so I think in terms of like future goals and like stuff that we wanted like aligned, but like just regular as commonalities were not like a thing. So like for you to connect with a friend more than me, like, and you always referencing this person, you talking about them all the time, like, and then too, like also like not meeting them, like it just raised a lot of questions because when you see them interact with people in person, it just give you a whole different sense of like your security in terms of where you stand with them in that relationship. With the other situation where I checked the phone and it was all like trust issue stuff. So it was just like
Trust is very important.
you raising a whole bunch of red flags, and at this point, I just really don't trust nothing you saying to me. I always like feel like I'm paying more attention to what you do than what you say. Like, I mean, St. Louis supposed to be the show me state, so I feel, babe, you need to show me something, baby. But the guy just did a bunch of like little random stuff. It was just like, okay. One time, like, I was cleaning and I found some underwear and they was the same size as mine, but you know what panties yours. Like, you can't look at me and be like, babe, them yours. You remember when we was and then no, we not doing that.
Yeah.
Cause you lying and you gonna lie to me in my face.
Right.
We not doing that.
Right.
And so it's like either you know, shut it off immediately, or you do some watch and learn type stuff. And you know, I feel like with him, I wanted to investigate before like just being like F you completely or blowing up or whatever, because I feel like you can sense when somebody crazy. And you know where I live. Like, so I don't want no craziness. Like, I want you popping up. I don't want you destroying anything like to my property. Like, so we gonna make this a nice little transition where like I'm gonna cut you off, but we not gonna we can't have no turn up in this. Because I don't know, just me personally as a woman, like I fear my safety. And I'm not trying to fight a dude. Some women do it. I'm not the one. So I'm just gonna make sure I let you down strategically. And we gonna depart ways. So yeah, that was the two reasons why I checked phones. But that's not something like I care for now. Like, if I don't trust you, then we don't need to be together. And that's just where I'm at now.
I think it definitely comes between, going back to the first episode, communication, trust, and loyalty. I think that if you trust somebody, I've never checked your phone, and I don't think you ever checked mine either.
No.
So,
I
in this relationship,
just turned your alarms off.
Yeah, you turned my alarms because I do be having a lot of alarms to wake up.
The only time I touch your phone.
But like, I have done it in the past twice, as well as her twice. But I feel like, honestly, on some real shit, just be on some masculine alpha, trying to be alpha, learning things as a man shit. Checking phones is kind of some simp shit, some beta male shit. I've done it before, but I've learned to like just be able to be trust my woman and trust in the situation that is gonna be. But like, for real, I don't think a man. Steve Harvey even said this on his show when he had a show like that. If you doing the things that you need to be doing as a man and taking care of business and putting it down, then it shouldn't be no reason for your woman to be stepping out on you. That's the way I look at it. Steve Harvey said it, a couple other comedians have said it. Like, I only did it twice because of out of being petty, being tit for tat. She checked my phone first. My first real relationship back in like 06, 2007. I was like 21. And she checked my phone a couple times in my MySpace. That's how long ago it was. MySpace. Thinking I'm cheating, and I wasn't cheating, but I definitely was flirting with other women, for sure. So I own that. I take Kimberly for that. But she did check my phone and my MySpace, you know. And then for tit for tat, for being petty, I checked hers too, on some petty shit. And then the most recent one was been back in 2017 when I was in a relationship with this young lady. I'm not gonna name her name or nothing like that. We're still cool. And she checked my phone first on some later we had discussion. She was saying some being insecure or whatever, and not knowing, cause she made rules. This is the thing that happened. She made rules for us to have in a relationship. The two main rules that she made was 2 a.m. You shouldn't be outside past 2 a.m. If you're going to hang out with your boys or go to a bar or club, you should need to be home by 2 a.m. Then the other one was no phone calls, or definitely phone calls from the opposite sex past 12 a.m. She made these two rules, these two main rules that was important. And her ass, excuse my language, I'm just being, thinking about it, violated first. She made those two rules and violated first. So that made me be petty to check her phone, because she checked mine thinking I did something wrong and I didn't, but then she having phone calls and staying out past 2 a.m. when she just said those the two main rules, and ain't nothing open at 2 a.m. but legs and opportunity. But you violated them, the rules that you made. So I was being petty and tit for tat with her. I really didn't have no evidence or suspicion. I just literally did it for tit for tat, because you did this to me, I'm gonna do it right back to you. Which is kind of some not alpha male masculine shit. It was some sympathy shit, but I learned and grow, and So, any thoughts about that or not?
I don't know if I all the way like the labels of alpha male versus simp or whatever.
Okay.
But I mean, like, just in terms of modesty and being a woman, that's something you kind of grown up, like, being told, like, ain't nothing out here past this time but legs and opportunity. But I mean, I think sometimes when, like, you try to create rules or set norms in your relationships, you don't always think through, like, what that mean for you. You just think about how some of those things will make you feel. Like, I mean, I created a rule in one of my previous relationships and definitely went back on it. It's not something that person found out that I went back on, but it still was like, damn, that was kind of petty. Like,
yeah, I got you.
I said, I ain't want this, and I still did it. Like, that's not okay.
Okay.
And I did feel bad about it after, but it's just like, sometimes those things need to change over time too. So, like, as you grow in your relationship, sometimes you be realizing that shit real childish.
Yeah.
Like, when you mature, like, you just process things differently, you respond differently.
That's true.
Unfortunately, I always tell Mr. Chris from the Lou,
She wanted to say something else.
age does not equate to maturity.
That's
and
true.
so
Very
you
true.
could be an old fool,
Mhm.
for real. It is definitely a whole lot still out there, but don't let that dumb stuff get you in trouble because you still trying to do stuff you did when you was in high school. You still trying to, or you feel like you missed that opportunity when you was in that time, so you want to do it now.
Right.
I mean, grow up.
Right.
Some things are easier said than done, like, for real, because in life you just have to experience it. Experience is definitely still one of the best teachers.
Oh,
I do
definitely.
feel like you don't gotta experience everything
That's true too.
to learn from it.
Because there's definitely some consequences that come with that experience too.
You don't have to.
We still gonna talk about it. We just figuring out how much we gonna express or whatever. The whole phase episode. That's experience and consequences too.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that, but we just trying to, But yeah, go on, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, but I mean, I kind of made my point.
Okay.
But when you set a rule or you like had a discussion with your partner about what you comfortable with or what you not, like your feelings valid. But you also have to put yourself in that space and take accountability for when you do that stuff too. Because it's not okay to go back on your word or to like expect stuff of others than you do it yourself.
Right.
So like in general, we as women, we got a lot of lists. We got a lot of stuff you need to check off. And half of the time we don't work on those areas or we don't like have those same expectations for ourselves. So it's not necessarily unrealistic, but it's hard like to get somebody with everything. You're not gonna get everything on your list.
That's where the compromise comes in.
Right. So if this person doing everything but this, then y'all need to have that conversation. If y'all can't come to an understanding, maybe that's a deal breaker for you. But if it's not a deal breaker, then find a way to compromise. But the check your phone thing, I feel like it's kind of like, that's not a therapeutic thing at all. Like, if anything, it's gonna cause you more harm than good
more stress.
to check somebody's phone. Now, I will say the first time I checked the phone, I didn't find nothing, so it was a little relieving. The second time, I already knew what I was coming for. Because in real life, like, you have an instinct.
Okay.
Like, you kind of have a hunch sometimes, like, when some shit going on or when something, like, you know, seem a little off.
Right.
So, you acting on that, you got to be a little cautious on how you respond to it.
Right.
Sometimes it's okay to just sit back and watch the show.
Right.
But when you go looking for it, it might blow up in a whole different way.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
for real.
That's true.
But everybody is different on their approach. That's what worked for me. I am more of a chill, laid back person. I don't go looking for the drama now. Most of the time I don't. I'm not gonna say 100, but most of the time I'm not looking for the drama.
Yeah.
Like,
we ain't never had that situation in our relationship going on 3 years.
No, because we're more mature now.
Yeah, more mature. That too, yes, more mature, and I don't have no reason to.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Like I said, when I did it for tit for tat anyway. So, you know, I ain't got no reason to. Like,
yeah,
I can't.
that's petty and childish.
Yeah, but that was petty and childish when I did it, though, for sure.
Yeah.
But I ain't got no reason to. It's like, I mean, I know when she go to work, I know when she come home, I know when she got some other stuff going on. And me, I don't run the streets. Like, I got a woman.
You
that's
can
here.
run the streets with
She waiting for you until you get through. I'll be waiting. Now that's the way I'm thinking about it is Tupac, the Tupac one. Now I think that's a remix to another older song.
No, I was talking about the Tupac one.
Okay.
It's a lady on the vocals.
Yeah. So, but
she be hitting it.
yeah, that's a good song. I'm in the old school song. I don't listen to a whole lot of new music, like from like 90s, like 93 up to about maybe 2016, 2015. All this new stuff, I can't feel. I like old stuff, so we connect real well with that too.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't arrived. We still learning and growing together.
Sure, for sure.
But I mean, I think it definitely makes a difference, like, in different stages of your life.
Yeah.
How you respond to stuff and just like not acting on things based off what your previous experiences were.
That's true too.
Because
that's true too.
I mean, because if I judged you based on past stuff I dealt with, you wouldn't be here no more.
Hey, at least you've been. This is about honesty and reflection and transparency. So, hey, look, hey, you being honest. Hey, I love you.
Yeah.
Love you for being honest. Thank you. So, okay, the next thing I was gonna say was the fact that trust and go back to the first thing. Trust and communication and loyalty. If you have that in the beginning, it shouldn't be no reason to check the phone. But obviously, people can be insecure and have doubts or whatever. And then once we go through that, then you're bound to find something, which is like, it's almost not always, most likely gonna be bad.
But I will say some people just have a weird, crazy, like, curiosity.
Yeah.
So I got I used to have a random coworker that would just like pick up people's phone and start scrolling like,
Really?
what is your problem?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's some people that just be like, I don't understand. And then, now like you can do facial recognition or the Face ID sometimes on iPhones or whatever.
And
so he'll literally like grab your phone and hold it to your face, and then just be scrolling like. First of all, bro, I don't know you.
Okay.
But secondly, like, some people just have no boundaries.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I will say that too. Like, it's not always like an insecurity or a trust thing. Like, sometimes people just be curious or bored or irritating.
Yeah.
But all in all,
you want to talk about another subject, or you want to end it now? Go ahead.
Well, I think next time we're gonna talk more about
the next couple episodes, which we're gonna do later. This is what's today? Wednesday. The next episode we're gonna talk about is we're gonna do a review of Think Like a Man, the movie Think Like a Man, because it has a lot of dating dynamics in that.
But we're gonna talk more specifically about the characters.
The first maybe like 15-20 minutes of the movie. The characters, the 90-day rule versus it was the 90-day rule versus the player. Then there was the committed versus the uncommitted, and then there was the
independent woman
versus the dreamer, and then there was the mama's boy versus the single mother. So we're gonna talk about those dynamics in the next couple episodes, probably like later on this week, for sure. But outside of that, we had another situation. We went to not $2 Tuesday. I'm thinking $2 Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
No, but it was Taco Tuesday yesterday, and my lady's best friend and her dude that she is with now, that they work in in long-term relationships. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, we have a good double date with them. We've been kicking it for a couple months or whatever. It's been really cool, and we talk about subject matters. So one of the subject matters that came up also was we have certain people in our area we call neighbors that have a lot of men, dudes, homies or homeboys hanging around their family, and he have girls. And the subject matter was basically, when you're grown, you're a certain age, and you have a family, do you have a whole bunch of people hanging around your family like that? And me personally, I was like, I don't have any girls, but if I did, and still if I had, my son is in Atlanta, so, but if he lived with me, still I would have to be very cautious about who I have around them and how often I have them around. And so that's what the next subject matter we was going to talk about. And I think that when you get to a certain age, a maturity level, or basically having a family and having a woman and having kids, you gotta be selective about who you have around you on a regular basis. And he has these people pretty much every day or every other day around his family. And I don't think that's safe, to be honest with you. I think that's not cool. I think when you get to a certain age, as a man, you have to be very selective of who you have around your family, especially if you have girls. Especially if you have girls.
Well, I think this situation is specific to gender, but I think it's important for males and females.
Okay.
So, I mean, with our neighbor, like your woman and your kids are here, and it's a bunch of random dudes always
Random
present,
niggas.
and then for them to be present and you're not around, it's you don't know like what's going on or you know
Yeah.
or anything like that, and just with like knowing about all the perverts and molestation and stuff that people in my family have dealt with, or like my close friends and stuff, it's not something that I would entertain. And I was even um, saying with that I didn't even like seeing like you know, a single mother with a bunch of her girlfriends, and they commenting on her son like, "Oh, that's my little boyfriend" and stuff like that, because it's not okay. Because, I mean, like, especially
Like crazy
like
people out here.
you don't know.
You don't know.
For men, it's not always looked at the same type of way.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a separate episode on double standards,
Yeah, we could do that.
but
For sure.
that's definitely one of them. Like a young man losing his virginity to a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I've definitely had exes, friends,
even
even
said
my
that.
youth
D-Ray Davis
pastor
said that, too.
that has
Yeah.
like lost their virginity at young ages, like 12, 13,
Yeah.
to grown women.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not okay, like for women or men, because that's still molestation either way. Like that's rape.
Yeah.
That's a child.
Yeah.
So like, be cautious of who you allow in your space. And no, I don't have children yet. I have helped take care of a bunch of them. But it's just, I mean, at some point you have to care more about the child than having kick it time. Like you definitely need a balance in life with having your time, being a parent, working, all those things. But you have to sometimes separate the two.
Yeah.
It can't always be the friends over here with my kids.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
Like, okay, y'all got kids the same age, that's cute, whatever. That might could work sometimes, but
Like,
half the time, like,
special occasions only.
it's really just like you kicking it
Yeah.
and the kids off kind of to the side, you halfway watching them, but you gotta keep your eye on them and your people that you have company with, because at any time anything could happen. So just protect their heart and their safety in all areas, because I feel like even a child don't have the voice to say no the same way an adult does. And even then, it's not always easy to or available. So if you're not in a safe space, and sometimes it be people you trust, so just be cautious.
That's real. So
And
the
keep-
next couple episodes for sure is gonna be about what my lady said, Lady V, double standards, and we also gonna do an episode about the movie Think Like a Man, and those concepts in the Think Like a Man, those different dating dynamics or situations. Those will be the next two episodes for sure, and then we still gonna get to the whole phase episode. We just trying to feel things out and try to see how things roll, but
because we both got some revelations.
We got some revelations on that too, for sure. But tune in to next time. Love you, peace. Like and subscribe. I'm posted on my Facebook and Instagram. It's a Midwest Thing podcast on Instagram, all one word. I'm posted on my Facebook, which is Christopher Smith, KRISTOPHRER Smith, SMITH. And I'm actually about to set up this weekend, coming weekend, a TikTok, because we need, that's the most popular thing now. So I guess I'll have to get on that, figure it out.
All right, until next time,
Till next
people.
time, peace, love, STL, St. Louis, Chicago. Let's go.